Hey guys, welcome to another episode of DeLuSioNaL's Arcade. So in this episode, we are going to take the test pattern generator, Craftymech TPG, as it's more popularly known, and we're going to add a LED to it because I'm tired of this thing. I'll leave it in the on position and I can't tell if it's on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an LED. I'll probably add it to the front here where there's a lot of space where I can drill. So these are just the tools you need. So I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right in the video. Okay guys, so basically what you see here, I just have everything all set. I have the TPG itself. You're going to want to take these little connectors out, obviously, because you're going to take it apart. And the other thing you're going to want to do is take out the battery just to prep it. But you'll see around the table, there's just the main things that I need. This is kind of optional. You could always use electrical tape if you want, but I just have this on hand, so I'm not spending any money. But this is heat shrink tubing. I have a glue gun, just to secure it in there, you know, screwdriver obviously. And this is a thing that I recommend. It's on, I'll send an affiliate link, I'll put it in the description. But this is a resistor kit. It comes with 600, and I've used it, I guess, a couple times for other things that I need on chassis or, you know, any electronics. You know, you have to repair stuff, but it comes with a ton of stuff. Here, I'll open it up to show you guys. But what's cool about this, and it kind of surprised me, because I went to get a resistor, and I forgot that it actually comes with some LEDs that will work with this. So, you know, it's a red LED, which is the color I wanted. I felt green, I don't know, just didn't really, for me, green is power, but red is also power, so it's fine. And then it comes with an assortment of stuff here. And I believe Craftymech, he was saying to use, let's see, you could use 330 ohms or you can use 470. If you use 470, it actually uses less battery and it kills the battery less frequently. So that's what I want to use. So that's, I already took it out of the whole thing, and it doesn't matter which way you orient it, whether it's, you know, this way or this way, it doesn't matter. Because it's, you know, it's not directional like caps are, like with positive or negative. So, so this goes on the negative portion. You have a longer, there's long and there's short. So the longer one is the one you want to not put it on, and you want to put the resistor on the negative like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tin it, we're going to pop it on there, we're going to use this handy dandy little holder here, and we're going to see if we can just put it on there. So before I do anything, actually before I even get to this, let's go ahead and make this little thing that we need. Oh, and you need wiring as well, I forgot about that. So we're going to cut wiring. I have this left over. You could use anything. This is 22 gauge. I use these for like joysticks and buttons and wiring, stuff like that. So traditionally, they're going to be, you know, negative and positive, red and black. So I'm going to stay with that, and I'll cut that later. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this on here. So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to put this on here, and I'm going to tin this whole thing. And you don't have to, you can actually cut that to size. You don't have to have them long like that, but I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so we have more of a close-up here so you can see what I'm doing. So basically you just have to tin. I actually cut this side here to make it shorter. So this is the negative, and I'm tinning it just by adding some solder. I'm doing the same thing over here. And you're going to want to do that to this as well. This is the actual piece that you're going to put on there, the resistor. So you don't need it to be this long. So I'm just going to cut it. So I'm going to cut it on either end. So there's that one. And then this end here, I'm just cutting it as well. Let's see. All right. And I'm just going to, I guess, tin it off camera. Or I could do it on camera, it's fine, right here. So you got to do each end. I'm using this to hold it because it's going to get hot, and I don't want to get burned. So let's see. Is that on camera? Let's see. Yeah, that's good. So just throwing that on there. Heat it up. Man, it's like sliding out of this thing. It's really hot too. Let's try that. There we go. one side. I'll let that cool a little bit. Pop the other side in. Yeah, so we're prepping it right now to be soldered. There we go. So let that cool a little bit. And then obviously, yeah, I can touch it now. I'm gonna grab it with this since it's short. And I'm gonna move this over. I'm gonna put that right on there. So let's see here. So it's gonna go on the shorter one, which is negative. I just run it back and forth. And then try to hold it as steady as possible till it solidifies. I'm blowing on it to cool down quicker. And that's it. So that's on there. It's pretty good. What I'm gonna do, here, let me see if I can just double check. There we go. So now that that's doing that, we can actually put the wire on there. So since that's negative, we're gonna make that black. So I'm grabbing my wiring on the side here. All right, so I'm just gonna take it, twisting it together. I'm gonna tin that as well. So let me take this over here. Move it over for you guys. And I'm just gonna tin that. You only have to tin one side. I'm not gonna do the other side yet because I don't know how long it's gonna be. All right, so now I'm gonna move it over again. And solder that right onto it. So same deal, you just kind of just go over. It's hard to hold it steady. All right, that worked. So now you have this whole thing with everything on there. So you don't want it to be exposed like that because it could contact something you don't want it to. So I'm just gonna slip this on the end over here. I think it's gonna be about, yeah, it'll be about that long. I'm gonna cut it so it's not as long. And I'm gonna slip it over. Put it that way. Slip it over everything. And you want to take a heat gun, which I don't have right now. We'll do it later, but we'll just heat it up and it makes it all nice. So let me go ahead and solder on the other one. I'm just gonna make it the same length. So this one's gonna be, let's see, I just kind of do this, measure it very quickly. Yeah, that'll be fine. So it's about that long. So again, I'm gonna take this, bring it here. I didn't really twist it too well. Okay, so I'm gonna tin that as well. Let's see. That's good. And then I'm gonna move this over. I'll take this out. Move that over to the other side. And you pop it on right here. So again, steady hand, but all right. And we're gonna take some shrink wrap, and this one, shrink tubing. I keep saying shrink wrap. I don't know why on all my videos, but you should be able to use the other end on that, and it should be good to go there. Trying to think if I should make it a little longer. Yeah, let me just make it slightly longer. I have another piece here that I can use. Let me just double check off camera here. All right. All right, so I'm just taking this, slipping it through. And it should both be on there and you're good to go. And now everything's color coded so you can't make any mistakes. So I'll put that together here. I'm gonna go grab my heat gun and I will be right back. Okay, so I have my heat gun here and I'm just gonna heat it up. You could use a lighter if you don't have a heat gun. I've used, they sell some really cool torches. They're like lighters, but they kind of look like a blowtorch that's really miniature, and they're like a couple bucks at convenience stores, but I just happen to have one of these. Works pretty good. And if you're near Harbor Freight, you can get these pretty cheap. All right. That looks good. So let me let it cool off a little bit. And that's it. So yeah, nice and solid. So you have everything in there. So before I put this, actually solder this in or do any holes or anything, I'm actually gonna pull out the TPG in a sec. And what we'll do is we'll kind of touch it with alligator clips just to make sure that it lights up when you turn it on. Because you don't want to put all this in and then realize that what you did here doesn't work properly. So let's go ahead and test it. Okay, so I zoomed out a little bit. And you just take off the 4 screws right here. They're on the outside of the case. Just be careful not to strip it. You want to use the proper bit for the screwdriver. I mean, for the screws with the screwdriver. And it just opens up. So this is everything. You can kind of just take this and just be careful. This does have a piece that comes out. You just got to lay it in there when you put it back together. This is probably what we're going to be drilling in. I was kind of looking at it. That's where I want the LED to be on mine. And so you're going to have to take the PCB out, and obviously the battery is taken out here, but you're going to have to take the PCB out. It's another 4 screws, pretty simple. And I actually did the research. I went on Clob. I can't remember who posted it. I want to say Beamer. Did I pronounce it right? It's BHMR. I can't remember how to spell it, but he had done a mod where he put a AC adapter, which I'm going to probably do in the future, but I just wanted this right away. I ordered the parts to do that, and I'll do that in a future episode, but for now, I just keep killing batteries because I keep leaving it on. So I'm going to, at the minimum, put this LED in there. But he actually posted on his thing, and then I think Craftymech answered, and he said, yeah, you know, and he showed how to do it, and he said what values to use and stuff. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing now, and just showing you what to do in this video, because there were pictures and stuff, and I tried it, did a dry run, and it came out pretty good. So okay, so that's it there. We have our LED right here. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn it this way and face it the way you guys would have at home. So if you're looking at it, this is the top of it, this is the bottom where your battery is in. I just popped my battery in here just now, just for testing, and I took off the PCB, and when you flip it over, you're going to see immediately on the right here, because this is the switch right here, these 3, you're going to solder to this first one here, and that's going to be the positive, and then the negative, you're just going to solder it to the battery terminal negative right there. So those 2. So what I'm going to do is I have alligator clips before I solder it, just to make sure it works. So I'm taking this, it's all color coded now, right? So we have red on red, and then you have the black on black, negative, and then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to clip it on here, and I'm going to clip the other one onto the negative right here. Oops. Well, you know what? I'll just hold it on there because it's kind of small. So let's turn it on. So I'm turning the switch on, and I'm holding this here. So you can see it. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So now I'm just touching it on the negative, and you'll see it light up. Pretty cool. So it works. So you can get brighter. I built another one originally. Here it is right here with a different, it's not built with the 470, it's actually with the 330. And I'll hook that up real quick so you can see the difference. That one's a little brighter, and to me it's not very noticeable. Side by side you probably notice them, but So this is it here. I'm gonna just touch it right there. And it's a little brighter, but for, you can't really tell on video, but it's a tiny bit brighter, but for the battery life, you're better off just using the one that's dimmer. So try using the 470, but if you don't have it on hand and you have the 330, that's fine too. Craftymech actually on the forum says you can use, the higher value so that it will resist it more and that you'll use less electricity from the battery or less drain on it. But for me, I'm gonna go ahead and use the other one. So we just tested it, it works fine. I'm gonna put that other one on the side. This is the one we just made. So now I gotta figure out where we're gonna mount it. I'm not gonna solder it just yet because I gotta figure out where it's gonna go. So I'm just gonna flip this over here. If we solder it in, right, it's gonna be somewhere like here and here, pretty close to the side. So you have a lot of space here. So I'm just gonna, since I'm putting mine here, I'm not gonna give it much slack. So I'm gonna cut it. I want it to be as tight as possible. I thought about mounting it to here, the top, but if I do that, every time you take it apart, because I plan to take it apart again for the bottom, there's gonna be wires hanging around. I don't want the wires. I want everything to be on this side of the board. I may do the same thing later. I might put it on the side. Some people put it here on the top. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet, I'll see. But that'll be another video coming up. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna put it right here because I'm gonna drill the hole. And, yeah, so you know what? Let me drill the hole first because I wanna make sure everything's gonna fit. And I think what I'm gonna do I have a scrap piece of wood? You know what, I have this. It's just a tile that I have. It's actually a coaster that I'm flipping over. And I'm just gonna drill it here. So let's see if we can get that going. So I want it to be like right there. It's not gonna interfere with anything. So I'm just gonna put it like right here and drill a hole right there. Looks pretty center to me. I'm just gonna slowly, there we go, went right through. All right, that looks really good. So let me just get this, there's some stuff on the other side I'm trying to get off. And let's see if it fits. And it looks like it's a little too small. So that's all right. Let me go up a drill bit size. So the drill bit size is gonna be, for me, 3/16. Oh no, sorry, is it? Yeah, 3/16. So I'm gonna try it again. Just make it a little bit wider. Let's see. All right, and then get the LED, and that looks like it works. I'm pushing it through now. That looks really good. So I may push it in a little deeper, kind of twist it back and forth. You know what, I'm gonna pop it out for a second because I think I'm gonna make this just slightly, I'm just gonna go back and forth. Get it a little tiny bit, like a hair bigger. That looks good too. I'll put that in there. And in the meantime, let me get my glue gun ready. I'll let that warm up, and in the meantime, I'll just kind of get this going here. So all I'm doing is I'm putting it in, and I'm just kind of just gently twisting it. It's fine. Yeah, I think that's bright enough. That'll be good. All right, so we'll throw some glue on there. Let's see if this thing is ready. Just put a glob. It's still warming up. Oh no. There we go, I got some out there. Yeah, I think I gotta let it warm up a little longer. But we'll try to rush it here. Yeah, there we go. Give it some strain relief right there too. And that's it. So I'll just let that dry. Let me unplug this thing so it doesn't burn down the house. Put that sideways there. And then you can always, like, if you need to, let me take an X-Acto knife. I want to make sure that it doesn't touch the edges here, so I'm just kind of taking that part. Oh, well, that worked out. It wasn't quite dry yet, so. All right, so let's take this and move this out of the way. Get all the hot glue out of the way. And then this is it again. And I'm just going to put it right here. So this thing keeps burning me. There we go. So that looks good. And what I want to do is I was thinking about putting the wiring like this to the right, kind of moving it around this screw here. Just getting a little creative. And then having this one, I'm probably going to put that one underneath. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So now that I know where everything's going to go, that one's going to go right there. I'm just going to cut this right there. And then this one is going to go a little longer. Cut that one right there. All right. So let me take this out. So again, you're going to open it up and you're going to get the pin that's closest on your right. And that's going to be positive. So let me go ahead and do that. And the top of the board is this way and I want it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and just solder that on real quick. I'm going to make it a little shorter actually. I'm just going to snip this little edge over here because I don't really want it sticking out too much. And we'll just do that. Ah, there we go. I don't really like how that's on. Let's try that. All right. And now we'll do this. I want to make that one shorter too. I'm going to cut it off. All right. Let me just put a little more solder on that. Ouch. Gets hot quick. All right. So I can turn off my soldering iron and I'm pretty sure that's fine. All right, so now let's just flip it over and we'll kind of put the wires where we want them. So we had said that we wanted the black, we want the red over here, and we want the black kind of that way. So I'm going to actually pop it in first, and then we'll gently get it down here. And I want this one underneath, like out of the way. There we go. All right, that'll work. So let's go ahead and screw it in. This is for the PCB, the silver ones are for that one. I'm gonna put this one in first, just so I'd be able to let go. And then two. I should have tested it first, but I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. Like I'll test it like while it's soldered on. Let's do that. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do that because we don't have the battery in. Let's just put that in. All right, nice and neat. And we'll put the top back on. Just make sure you line this up over here when you're putting it in. Let's see if I did that right. Yeah, I think I did it right. There we go. It's a little weird getting it in, but I got it in. Then you flip it over. We'll grab this one here. Let me, hang on a second. There we go. All right. Take this one here. I'll tighten them in a second. So I get them all in there. And that's it. So that's the LED mod. Pretty simple to do. Could cost you next to nothing. If you have all these LEDs already in stock or on hand in your house, then it's not going to cost you anything to do it. It's a good mod. But if not, you know, this thing right here, $5. Amazon link below. So let me put the battery in now. And just throw that on there. And all right, there it is. See, it's in the on position. I even did it in this video. So that's it. You turn it on, power, off, no power. Looks good. If this is on, I'm gonna notice that this is on. You know, you would think that you put it on top and you'd notice it more like that it's on, but trust me, I can tell if that's on. It's pretty bright. So, all right. So I guess that's it. Hope this helped you a lot. It's a real simple mod to do. Let me shut it off here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put stuff in the comments. Again, I'll put the link to this kit right here, which is only $5 and it's handy. I mean, I'm gonna use this, I'm sure, for other projects as well, for the resistors, and it comes with the LED. So I guess that's all. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and hope this helped you guys out. Take care.